City of Champions on Channel 7 is brought to you by Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. And by Art Van Furniture. We do more for you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the grounds here at Channel 7. As tonight we celebrate with some current Wings and some former Wings the most recent Stanley Cup championship of this team. Alongside me, of course, as always throughout the playoffs, is Mickey Redmond, and next to Mickey, the oldest man in the National Hockey League.
How many times, though? How many times? You want to say that?
But he plays like one of the youngest guys, Igor Larionov. Igor, welcome, and thank you for being here tonight. I guess your impressions, first of all, of the day today, the parade, the rally, your thoughts.
Well, it was an excellent day today, so I was really pleased and happy for the fans and the people of Detroit to come out and celebrate with us winning the Stanley Cup. It was unbelievable.
Igor, a lot of decisions are going to be made here in the next couple of weeks. Dominic Hasek to decide to come back. Scotty's already decided that he's going to cut back. What's in the near future for you? Have you thought about it, or will that happen as well in the next couple of weeks?
I think I still enjoyed my last few days, and I want to have a meeting with Ken Holt on Wednesday. So well, it's a nice team. So it's so many great guys, and it's for me it's really hard to make the decision to retire, and so I'm just looking forward to come back for another year and to have another chance to leave the Cup.
So in other words, if it's there, if the details can be worked out, number 8's back in the uniform for number 26 years since you started. 16 years old, Don, when he was in Russia. We've talked a lot about that, and what a great career.
Well, it's looked like I have a good chance to come back, and if it's everything gonna go smooth with me and Kenny, so I'm planning to come back and planning to be part of that winning team and try to help to win another cup.
Igor, what amazes me, I guess, somewhat is, I guess a few years ago when you left here and went to Florida, a lot of people thought, he's done, he's finished, he's washed up, yet you come back here and play as good as ever. How is that possible?
I was done in 98-91. I was in Vancouver, so they thought I had old legs, and I washed up after Red Army team. So, and now it's 2-2, so, and I still enjoyed the game. And when I play with Detroit in the last 7 years, so there's so many great players, and it's my game. You know, it's fun, it's enjoyment, and it's just pleasure, because when you have great guys around you with a lot of talent, so it's easy to develop yourself. Even I'm an old guy, so I guess it was a good vintage, 1960, so I'm just trying to still open up like old wine. And I enjoyed the game, and I trying to be helpful for the young guys also.
You mentioned the wine. Let me jump on this wine thing, because I know that you have, what, 2.5 glasses of wine every night? Is that what's keeping you young?
Well, now it's 3 glasses, so 3 cups. three glasses a day, so that's, well, it's a part of my diet. So that's, it's been the last 10 years I've been doing like a lot of vegetables and fruit and kind of right nutrition, and plus the wine.
Igor, this team, a lot of guys probably going to go to the Hall of Fame, lots of consideration at least for it. Any one thing that stands out in your mind, being a veteran like you are, having played in 97 and 98, what was any difference in this team this year, the way it all went together?
Well, I think I had so much confidence. I guess all of us had so much confidence in each other. So this year, and you know, when you like you said, it's 10 Hall of Famers, and you know, you can take a look at like every line. So even like guys, Chris Draper, Darren McCarty, Boyd Devereaux, Kirk Maltby, a lot of guys, the guys who can put back in the net. So which is give you so much confidence and depth. And like even like when some top line struggling to score, so we got some other guys can score some big goals. And for me, I think this is the best team.
You know, I remember watching you at Darren McCarty's dinner, watching your 2 daughters sing, and the joy you got watching them. Can you kind of compare, you know, scoring a triple overtime game in a Stanley Cup playoff game to watching your 2 daughters sing and the joy that you feel from both of those things?
Well, Don, I watch them every day, so but I don't score like third overtime every night. So that's it's the biggest goal of my career. So but the kids have been watching the last 4 or 5 years, so they've been singing, so in the big crowds, and for me, obviously, it's special to watch them perform, and obviously it was special for me to score such a big goal in the Game 3 in Carolina.
How about your little guy? I've seen him on the ice a lot of times, little Igor on the ice after games out there skating.
Still, we got to make a decision, soccer or hockey. So, you know, but now we're going back to Florida and then Moscow, so he's going to play more soccer than hockey.
You got a big project going in, starting in Moscow, around Moscow this summer, you were telling me about, or is that down the line?
Well, it's, yeah, I have 2 projects. So I'm working with my partners on a couple of musicals for the Russian people, for the Russian market, which is The Witches of Eastwick. Musical will open up in Moscow late November this year, and then in August we will have a last round of negotiation with ABBA people about the Mamma Mia musical. So it's set for 2 or 3 in Moscow premiere.
How about the log home?
Well, that's another project. So it's just to build a house. It's easy, Mick. My wife working on that. So
we're going to talk about that, you and I. How about just our old buddy Slava Fetisov is now, what, the head of sport? He's a great friend of yours, and you two paved the way for most of these young Russian players to come over here, and what a debt of gratitude they owe to you guys. And now he's Papa Bear is over there. He's the head of sport, and he's with the head of the country almost every day.
Now I got to have an appointment, so that's to call him in advance, because he's a busy man. But I talked to Slava 2 days ago, so he wants me to bring the cup, and I know he just a couple days ago he was like spending the night with Mr. Putin, and he wants to maybe have a sip of champagne from the cup.
There you go.
So that's what we got to take that cup to Moscow in the first week of August.
Now, did you take the cup to Moscow last time, or is this?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
And what was the reaction?
That was incredible, Don. It was I think one of the best memories, and the cup was there for 5 days, and we took the cup like all different spots in Moscow, my hometown, my hometown, and Kazi's hometown, and then I was in the U.S. Embassy, and kids had a chance from Red Army team, had a chance to take pictures with the cup, and the kids from my hometown also, and it's like different nightclubs and restaurants, and so I had a good time there.
Igor, we appreciate you coming in with us tonight. Your family is here. What a great run it's been, and boy, I'll never forget, we were sitting outside the arena waiting, and everybody, when is it going to end? And my gosh, that goal's got to be in your dreams for a long time.
Mickey, it's been like such a pleasure to be playing for this team once again this year, and obviously with such a support of the fans, which has been incredible. We saw that 1.2 million people today celebrating with us. So it's incredible. So when you see this kind of things, and you never forget about that, and you want to do it again for them, because they just regular people, and they love the game, and they're just trying to make that happen for them.
You know what? Darren has said that he and his family have sat around and popped in the tape from the Philadelphia game where he scored that big goal. Have you popped in the tape and looked at that goal a little bit?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No, I got so many things going on right now. It's a World Cup of soccer, so I got to watch those games. It's about time to relax, and I usually try to forget about the game after the season, so try to enjoy the different things in life, and maybe before the next year, in August, I'll maybe put the tape and watch that.
You're like a World Cup expert. Are you surprised the United States beat Mexico?
Well, I'm really surprised, but I'm very happy for them, because it's a huge accomplishment. So you wouldn't even imagine, it's top 8 teams in the world, and Team USA now playing Germany, so they still got a good chance to advance to the semifinals, which is huge.
You're a treat to watch and a treat to work with. Class act all the way. Thanks for all of this, and have a great holiday. Well deserved.
Thank you very much.
All right, Igor Larionov. A pleasure talking with Igor, the professor.
Thank you.
And we're never going to call him the oldest man in hockey anymore, because he plays like a young guy. Thank you, Igor.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. He and his family are here, of course, to enjoy our little barbecue that we put together here along with Outback. And let's talk a little bit about this parade and this rally that you and I were a part of. And you were riding in the, what was it like for you to ride in that car down Woodward today?
Oh boy, I'll tell you, it was amazing to see people. And I thought at one point it was deep. They were 5, 6, 7 deep, and then you'd get to areas that would open up. And my gosh, there were 30 deep over there, and I don't know how many people were there. It was reminiscent of '97 and '98. It's just a mass of people. And the outpouring of emotion is just incredible down to feel the yelling and the screaming, and my gosh, it's quite a thing.
From the stage, Mick, as you were on the stage emceeing the rally at Hart Plaza, as you looked out and saw all those people almost from the river behind you all the way to the skyscrapers and the buildings, it's an awesome sight, huh?
It's mind-boggling, and I think that's where Freddie Olesen, these guys, Steve Duchesne, Luc Robitaille, Dominic Hasek, they were just shaking their heads like, I can't believe this. They'd heard that Detroit had great hockey fans and great support, and it brought out a great passion in a lot of people in Michigan and throughout the country. But they had never felt it. They've never lived it. And today they lived it. And that's why I think Dominic Hasek's coming back next year.
And, you know, you obviously were involved in parades. Talk to me about the differences. I know it was a long time ago, but in Montreal for you, when you won the Cup, and here in Detroit, I mean, it's a long time ago and a big difference, and hockey's changed. But
yeah, you know, I think I was so young. I was only 19 and 20 years old when we won back-to-back Cups in Montreal, and by gosh, what more could you ask for when you start in the NHL with a great organization like Montreal? And I think the greatest thing, and we haven't maybe mentioned that much throughout this playoff run, is the original 6. That's the key. There's only 6 of them. They can never be changed and taken away. And I think for me, to be a part of the Montreal Canadiens and the Detroit Red Wings, it doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't. Indeed, it doesn't. Hey, look right behind us. Igor Larionov, the kind of guy he is, standing there, signing autographs for some of the kids and family members and adults. Terrific. Taking pictures. It's just a nice evening we're having here at Channel 7. Mick and I and Dave Llewellyn have a whole lot more coming up for you from our grounds. We are back with the City of Champions special right after this.
Guess they're not home.
Mom?
Hit it.
Dad? You'll find any excuse to go Outback for our perfectly grilled shrimp and fresh Atlantic salmon.
Son, you're breaking up.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Don't be one of the 80% of adult Americans who suffer from sleep deprivation. Sleep better, America, with a new 2002 Simmons Beauty Rest mattress set from Art Van. Right now, save 35 to 50% on all of Art Van's 2002 Simmons collection, starting at just $59, including Simmons Beauty Rest and the Olympic Queen Beauty Rest. Plus, you do not pay for 1 full year, and Art Van pays your sales tax, all with free next-day delivery, or your mattress is free. Get a new 2002 Simmons mattress set today at Art Van.
This summer, ABC takes you where no one else can. Tuesdays, Behind the Mask.
These are the people you cry with. You don't have to, but it's very rewarding.
Behind the Curtain.
Why is this happening to me?
I'm in this field because I want to save lives.
Houston Medical premieres Tuesday, 10/9 Central, and Wednesdays from ABC News.
It was either him or me.
Beyond the Prosecution.
It wasn't going to be me.
Beyond the Defense.
Take the deal.
And Inside the Jury Room.
I'll never change my vote.
State V. Houston Medical Tuesdays, State V Wednesdays, starting Tuesday, 10/9 Central on ABC.
I was born just a couple blocks from here. My grandfather was a retired auto worker. 30 years at Dodge, Maine. My father was a union printer, and so were my uncles. When I was growing up at the dinner table, I learned some pretty basic things. That if you worked hard, you deserved a good wage. You or your family get sick, you deserve health care. And if you put a lifetime of service into a company or government, you deserve a secure pension that nobody can take away.
David Bonnier, a real Democrat for real change.
Following the success of Chrysler's minivan matchup, your Chrysler dealer is now offering a down payment matchup on all cars and minivans. We'll match your $1,000 down payment and add a $500 to $2,500 cash allowance for up to $4,500 down on select models. Plus, get our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge. Great products, great value, great protection. It's a real matchup. See your Chrysler dealer today. It all ends soon.
And welcome back to our grounds here at Channel 7 as we continue with the City of Champions. The overwhelming theme of the parade and especially the rally, the pressure exerted on Dominic Hasek to almost make a decision while we were there as to whether or not he was going to stay or not. Your thoughts on how all that played out, I guess?
He was just 10 feet to my left, and he was like, what do I do, you know? And it's like, wow. He's going to sit down with Kenny Holland. Kenny told me in a couple of days. I personally think he's coming back. I don't think he can give this up. As Brett Hull said today, this is what it's like, Dom. This is why you should come back again. So I think those guys were absolutely overwhelmed by the outpouring today. I know it's been a tough 3 or 4 days. Good, but tough. And they're ready to lay it down and relax. But after seeing this kind of stuff and winning for the first time, I think that this team is not going to change a ton, I don't believe. And I think they'll have another kick at the cat next year, and that usually brings a guy back.
All right, we want everybody to listen to what Dominik Hasek said today and what others said about him. And for that, let's go to Dave Llewellyn. Dave?
Well, and Don, I don't share Mickey's, well, his enthusiasm about the possibility of Dom coming back, at least not right now. He is under contract for next season, but he told the Wings when they traded for him that he may only play one more season. Certainly, Red Wing players and the fans are trying to do their best to convince Dom to stay.
What I can say, it's the most exciting days of my life, lifting the cup, and today here, the people told me it's gonna be big, but I think it's twice bigger, than what I thought, and I'm so glad it's a beautiful day here.
Yeah, well, we had some rain earlier, but it cleared just in time for you guys, and you knew coming to Detroit, how people loved the hockey here, and it was something that you wanted to be a part of. It's met as it exceeded all of your expectations.
I knew it's a hockey town. I always knew that, Detroit people, they love hockey, and I sort of expected it. But the experience, during the Stanley Cup Finals, and here, I know we have lots of fans, but I didn't know we have so many fans. It seems like the whole downtown is just red and white. And like I say, I see something. Like I say, the best day of my hockey career is right here.
I know you heard last night the chant "one more year." You're going to hear that chant here again today. And you've got a big decision.
I don't know. I was driving probably in the car like, half an hour. And it never stopped, right from the beginning to the very end. The people were cheering one more year. And they put lots of pressure on me. My team, I've talked to almost all of my teammates, most of them, and we were talking about it, and like I say, it's a great day of my life, it's today and last couple of days. But when I want to make a decision, I want to make it without emotion, I just want to have a clear mind. Actually, we're sitting with my wife every day, but every day you talk to my wife and then you talk to your teammates, you have a couple of drinks, you have fun, it's crazy.
Well, there's plenty of emotion right now for all these guys, Dominik Hasek included, and he'll try to clear the emotion and come to a decision, but certainly everyone, Red Wing fans and those current Red Wing players and management, all want him back in a Red Wing uniform next season. Don?
All right, Dave, thank you so much. Boy, oh boy, that seems to be a difficult thing to do for Dominik Hasek, to forget about and rule out the emotion of the day and come to a decision as to what he's going to do.
I would think he's going to have to wipe it away. Let's talk to a guy that's been around a long time. What do you think? Your opinion, is Hasek coming back, do you think?
I don't know. I was watching that parade today, and I thought when he came up for the little call there at the end, I thought for sure. I thought that was set up, and he was going to say, okay, I'm coming back. But it's hard to say. It's hard to top what he did this year. Maybe lets it set in for a little while, and he's going to think he's going to miss it, but it would certainly be nice to have him back on this team.
Dino, your thoughts as, I guess you watch the finals unfold and the parade and what an amazing kind of a 2 or 3 weeks for the guys on this hockey team.
Yeah, it really is. I got caught up as a fan too. There's a lot of excitement here, but it was really nice to see these guys all year from what they accomplished throughout the year. And then going back to Mick, just before the playoffs, those last 10 or 15 games, they didn't really mean anything. And you could tell they were trying to get ready for the playoffs, and then they weren't ready, you could tell. Go ahead.
I'm sure that you've been on teams that have stumbled like that before with a lot of great talent on the team. I think it went a little further than they wanted to. They were resting a lot of guys, and it went just a little too far, and they had trouble getting it back right into the first series against Vancouver.
Absolutely. You talk about blocking shots, and guys, maybe they wouldn't do that right at the end of the season. Everybody's preparing for the playoffs, but and everybody thinks it's easy. You just turn it on, and they weren't prepared, but they just got better and better as each series went on, and they certainly they deserve it all.
Could you watch these games as a fan, or are you just so hockey-oriented that you have to watch and analyze and think about it? Or could you just sit back, relax, and watch hockey?
No, I'd be lying to say that, especially what happened this year with these guys when I went to camp with them in Orlando, and then all the rumors starting about coming back and playing again. It certainly would have been nice to have been playing on this team or playing hockey again, but there's still a lot of good friends and guys that I played with on this team for 5-6 years, so I was happy for them, and I got caught up as a fan as well.
Well, you haven't been gone that long now. We got to get that back fixed up and get you working out again. That's easier said than done.
Well, I still got a couple general managers trying to get me to come back and play next year, but I'm having a good time. I did a little TV work. Maybe I'm coming after your job, Vic. No, I just kidding. Nobody could replace you, buddy.
Hey, Dino, you made your living in front of the net, all those goals you scored. And now Thomas Holmstrom's doing the same thing. Is he basically Dino Ciccarelli, but a bigger version?
He's done a tremendous job. You know, I think he only got 8 goals all year, right. But he saved the best for the playoffs. But he does a good job. And I've talked to him a couple times in the playoffs. And you talk to kids, and I try to tell our junior kids the same thing. You know the saying, going to the net. And that means getting yourself right in front of the goalies. But 90% of the players, what they'll do is they'll turn their body and try to tip the puck, but the goalie gets to see the whole thing. But Homer does a good job. He did it like I did. He puts his whole body in front of the goalie so he can't see the puck, and then he gets the stick on him. So he did a tremendous job.
You know, you guys, you and Holmstrom, the two guys, take an incredible beating in front of the net. What keeps you from turning around and not whacking some guy when they keep hitting you?
Well, I did.
Yeah, he's going to say he did.
I did. But, you know, I told Homer, I said, you got to give a little back, then they lay off you next time. That's how you get a little respect around the league. But you know what? A big part of it is positioning yourself, too, you know. You don't want to let the leverage. You don't want a defenseman giving you this much room. In Homer, we've talked about it, too, is to stay in close like this so they can't get the stick on you. When you give them that little bit of room, Mick will tell you, that thing hurts.
You got some distance, yeah, but give it the BC two-hander. But you know what? You did not wear a lot of extra stuff, though, like Homer does. He's got extra padding in his ribs and in his back of his legs and knees and everything. You didn't wear a lot of extra stuff back there.
No, it's the old-time hockey, Mick. You know that. I did the old equipment, and for me, when I played, I was uncomfortable with any of the bigger padding stuff, so I stuck with the old stuff.
All righty, Dino, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
Good to see you, Dino.
And Scott
have a great evening.
Arrived.
Have a great night.
The Red Wings is here, and Mick and I will be back and talking with Scotty right after this. Please don't go away.
Non-stop soccer action is back in Metro Detroit as Channel 7 presents the 10th annual ABC Warehouse 3-on-3 Soccer Shootout, June 29th and 30th at Borden Park in Rochester Hills. Small fields, small goals, and no goalies. Each team is guaranteed at least 3 games, and every player will receive an event T-shirt. Pick up registration forms at ABC Warehouse. Brought to you in part by all Meyer stores, Chevy trucks, and Clyde's Carpets.
Had enough of mild? Go wild. Go from ordinary to outrageous at the Dodge Summer Event. We'll take your down payment and give it real muscle. We'll match it up to $1,000 on almost every new Dodge. That's in addition to cash allowances up to $2,500. For a down payment of up to $4,500. Plus get our 7-100 powertrain pledge. So get up, get wild at the Dodge Summer Event.
This is your appetite talking, and this is a tasty alert. You're not gonna believe this, baby.
Right now, you can get 5 Arby's melts for just $5. All that tender, juicy roast beef.
Surrender to the tender.
Smothered in hot, tangy cheddar cheese sauce.
Cheese me, baby.
5 Arby's melts, just $5. Only for a short time at Arby's.
Give in to your grown-up taste.
This week, nobody's hotter than Wallside. During Wallside's sizzling summer sale, we've turned up the heat with prices and offers no other window company can touch. Keep the heat out with free low-E glass. Keep cool with free argon gas. Save on every window Wallside makes. Plus, get an extra $100 off when you present this coupon. It's in this week's ShopWise, or ask your salesperson, or go to wallside.com. Wallside's sizzling summer sale, now through Saturday. Call 1-800-521-7800.
The Michigan Regional Council of Carpenters and Millwrights built the Detroit skyline. It's a symbol of rebirth and renewal, but their contribution to our community goes well beyond just building.
The Carpenters sponsor our annual Christmas program and band.
They also rebuilt our dance floor.
We enrich communities where we live and work with our skills and our hearts. So join the 22,000 plus members of the Michigan Regional Council of Carpenters and Millwrights. Call 1-888-HAMMER-9.
This offbeat moment from the other night. And this lady shouting stuff at Sergei Fedorov. He ignores her. But in Game 3, Shanny responds to her. Watch this. Lifts a shave under there, lady. Do me a favor. Oh, look at him. That smells. Would you do me a favor, lady? Welcome back to our program. Don Shane along with Mickey Redmond and the head coach, the outgoing, retiring head coach, Scotty Bowman. Scotty, thanks for being here today.
Nice to be here.
Hey, show everybody that ring on your left finger right there. That is the most recent Stanley Cup ring for the Red Wings when they won it in '98. And now what happens to that one when you get a new one? Explain it to everybody.
Well, usually I put them in a safety deposit box, but I told my 4 children and my wife that when I hang them up, I'm going to give them a choice and let the kids have at least one each. And
that is nice.
Be nice.
And so you'll wear the most recent one from this year.
I don't wear it all the time, but especially this week, I would wear it.
Scotty, excuse me, Donnie, take us back to February. You told me the other day that February was it. You had time to recoup and regenerate a little bit, the Olympic break, and that's when you made your decision, and you simply said to me it just felt like it was the right time.
Well, you know, Mickey, we got a bit of a break in '98. I felt we had the Olympic break, and we took advantage of it. This time, I wasn't involved in the Olympics, so I went to Florida, and it wasn't a bad place to go in February. But we had kind of a family party, and I knew, I mean, that wasn't the only reason, but I felt if I had to make a decision, I should make it now. And I you know, win or lose, I said I'd like this to be my last year, but you know, to end up the way it did, of course, you know, you can't plan that.
Now you probably know, and you probably knew when you made that decision that there isn't any question you're going to miss being in the middle of the action.
Oh yeah, but I've been in it so long. Other years that I was undecided, I didn't have the same feeling because, you know, you always think, well, you'd like to have another year, another year, another year. But I mean, there's other things I can do. My wife has been very considerate. I mean, you know, it's been tough because our family's spread out and our home is in Buffalo, and she came up and spent a lot of time here. But I just think that it's a grueling job, and the fact that we had the break helped me get ready for the playoffs. And I think every coach or player, when they start a season, they want to end up winning the last game, and it doesn't always work out that way.
You know, Scotty, talk to me a little bit about the input and what the decision-making, the thought process of making that decision with your family.
Well, I think when I realized that I've been in the game this long, I could stay with the Red Wings in a different capacity. I could do things that I've always wanted to do. Like I said, do something in the winter, you know, go on trips with my wife, visit my children. They're not children anymore, they're young adults. So it's just something that I thought that I owed the family a little more time. And, you know, you're getting up there in age, and you want to enjoy while you can.
When you made the decision, did your thirst to win even increase more this year than ever before?
Well, I mean, you always want to win, but I thought about it. It was going to be a real tough decision had we not won, but I had already made it, and I just felt that the odds were in our favor. Really, I mean, we had a very motivated group of players with players that had won before, some that hadn't won. Brett Hull and Shelley had won once, and a lot of good young players that were hungry. So I think we deserved to win. Should we have won the way we played? I feel that we should have, but it's never that easy.
Right. Don't go away, because we've got more coming up with Scotty Bowman right after this break. Mick and I are back with Scotty and a special guest for Scotty. A little surprise coming up next. Stay with us.
Your neighborhood. I think you proved in many ways that a good local station is deeply involved at every level with its community.
We're a family team.
What the overruns are,
what the costs
with some explanations.
Yes.
And some recommendations on where we go from here.
I'm not sure I'll have these. I'll give you baseline data and tell you where we are. And if we're able to conclude some of the other discussions, we have another meeting coming up, and I think it is the following week at a manager level to talk to them.
I'm not shooting the messenger here.
Oh, I understand.
But if the managers have been meeting, the finance people have been meeting, the attorneys have been meeting, and nobody has anything in front of them, what have you been talking about? I see the managers asked for some of the projects to be stopped, and I'm sure there was good reason for it, but maybe the dilemma is that I don't feel that I've been brought up to speed in appropriate answers to my questions about how we got this bad this fast.
Well, you'll get that in writing from us.
Okay. On the budget portion, Mr. Heisen.
If I could just, on this portion.
We know your needs are diverse, and so are we. For a limited time only, Shore has allocated millions of dollars for first-time buyers.
McDonald's big and tasty, gives your taste what's joy. It's only 99 cents, so come on in, oh boy. Get your Mickey D's favorites and some new choices too. You get...
And for the last year, this council, collectively and individually, and yourself, Mr. Wallenweber, have taken the blame for everything that has gone wrong. And yet, all we're doing is paying our share.
To save a big chunk of money on something you really like. I love this car. It's a 2-year-old Lincoln Town car. It was certified. It's a beautiful car, right? It's like brand new. Nice saddle. Stitching's a little frayed.
Now get 4.9% APR limited term financing on certified pre-owned Lincoln Town cars.
A touch of class on top of the CompuWare building downtown as CompuWare and the Carolina Hurricanes congratulate the Red Wings for the Stanley Cup. Joining us now, along with Mick and Scotty, it's Red Berenson, the Michigan coach who has a little history with Scotty Bowman. Don't you? Explain that.
Well, I remember playing in St. Louis, and it was Scotty's first coaching job, and I was really excited. It was the first chance I got to really play and show the kind of player I could be, and Scotty, it was his chance to show that he was going to coach. And it was interesting. I remember in 1970, 71, and our team had been in the finals the last 2 or 3 years. And Scotty, do you remember in one of your dialogues with the team, some people might call it a tirade, but you remember, and you were questioning whether our fire had gone out, and he said, "I'm tired of coaching this way. I don't think I can keep coaching any longer." And that was 31 years ago. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, we had good runs, and I don't remember saying it, but it must have happened.
Well, apparently you still had a little fire in you, and you were able to coach a few extra years after that.
Well, I went to Montreal, and I went at the right time. Red knows as a coach, you know, sometimes you're in the right place and you're not. Sometimes you're not in the right place. And when I got to Montreal, they had got the fruits of a lot of draft picks. Fellas like Lafleur and Robinson shot the whole team just about. In those days, you didn't sign players that were free agents. There wasn't any. So that was my best, say, stretch until I got to Detroit. And actually, I've been here 9 years. It's supposed to only stay 2.
Don, you may not know, but Red Berenson for a long time has been a great lover of the outdoors, and he's got a great story. You were on a trip, just a couple of weeks ago, and Game 7 was taking place. I know you hated to miss that, but the outdoors calls you. What happened on that trip?
Game 7, we're in northern Manitoba, Mickey, and we drove straight through from Detroit. And of course, trying to get these games on the radio on the car is impossible. So we got way up north of Winnipeg, up in the bush, and the last place that had electricity, I ran in this town, and I got someone to tell me the score after the first period. Detroit 4-0, and it was amazing up there. Even there's people that care, and there's people that don't know anything. Like, it's a different culture now. And so we spent the rest of the next 2 weeks not knowing for sure who was in the Stanley Cup Finals. And then we came to an Indian reserve, and I met this Indian, and I first met a white man, and he had no idea. And then I grabbed the first Indian I could come, or Native Canadian, or whatever they call them now, And he said, oh, yeah, I'll tell you exactly what happened. And he gave me the rundown on the 7th game. Detroit's up 2-1, and they play tonight, he said. And it was great. So here he is, no electricity. They have satellite TV way up in the bush, and they were going to watch that game.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Scotty Bowman, and as we talked and Red go way back, you've been at Michigan for too many years for me to remember. And we showed Scotty's ring. How about yours? Michigan championship ring, of course. That's a dandy in its own right. And you guys ever exchange stories now that you're college, pro, etc.? Haven't go back to the old days? And
I think the biggest difference now, like I mean, I was in Montreal when we won a cup in '73, and somebody mentioned the other day, as soon as they give the cup on the ice, they bring it into the party at night, and that's it. You never see it again. So whoever came up with the idea, I think it was about 10 years ago, because, you know, the players' families mean a lot to them. It's not an easy job, and this is wonderful what's happened the last 3 or 4 days. The kids are enjoying it, and it's just a trophy that no other sport does that. And you know, it's going to go to all. They set it up today. It's going to go to Czechoslovakia first, then Sweden, then Russia in July, late July. So I mean, everybody gets it now for at least a day, and they can share it with their friends, and that's something that somebody thought of about 10 years ago.
And where are you going to take it, Scotty?
This year I'm going to take it back to Buffalo, probably in August. Pretty busy in July, and I've had, well, I had one from Pittsburgh and the other 2 from Detroit, so my friends are looking forward to it. I bring it to the golf club, and I put it on the first tee, and they enjoy it for the rest of the day.
What do you think Dominik Hasek is going to do? Do you have an inkling?
It's a tough call because he came for this reason. He hasn't made any comment to anybody, and I know he's very, very popular in Czechoslovakia. They were even dancing in the streets there, and you know, he wants to go back. He wanted to go back a couple of years ago, but I think now, you know, it's probably 50-50. He's probably weighing it. He's only 37. He's a great athlete. He loves to practice. He's got a lot left. But, I mean, does he want to come back and take all that responsibility? I really don't have a clue.
How about the input that you may or may not have on your successor? And would you go to Mr. Ilitch and say, Dave Lewis, Barry Smith deserves this job?
No, because I'm kind of glad I'm not involved in that part of it. Naturally, I know the work that both Barry and Dave did with me. They're both excellent coaches. You'd like to see them get their opportunity. They've had opportunities to go with other teams. They didn't go. But, you know, the people that run the business have to make decisions as well. This is a very tough decision to make because, you know, it would be nice if both of them could stay. I don't know if they would if one got the job over the other. Whoever didn't stay, they would really miss them.
Let me ask you this, though. Whoever gets that job, what do you think it would be like to follow Scotty Bowman?
Well, you know, I think there'll be a lot of motivation by the players to really try to do it again. I mean, when you win the cup the first time, there's a lot of motivation. We had an awful lot of motivation this year with, you know, the fellas that had never won it, like Luc Robitaille, Steve Duchesne, Dominic, you know, Freddie Olesen, and it kind of rubbed off on the other guys' shoulders, the ones that had been there before. So I think it'll be a very motivated team next year, and naturally the losses would have to be, I don't know who's not going to come back. I mean, there's some question marks. Igor Larionov was just a superb player in the finals and all through the playoffs.
Very quickly, Red, before we go to break, will there ever be another guy like this guy to put it all together? It's a tough job coaching.
Well, there's no way that anyone will have the longevity that Scotty's had throughout the different eras. And remember, his coaching career was pretty much over before he came to Detroit. And when they talked about hiring him, one of the radio stations called me and said, what do you think about Scotty Bowman? I said, I'll tell you what, Scotty Bowman, he'll get the best out of his best players. He knows how to coach great players. He'll bring the team together. He'll find roles for everyone, and you'll have your best chance of success if you hire a guy like Scotty Bowman. And at that time, there was a lot of question marks about what would happen. Well, now it's pretty easy to see what's happened.
Sounds like a pretty good blueprint.
But at that time, I mean, that was my feeling, and Scotty at that time been with Buffalo and then Pittsburgh, and there was some question about whether he was going to coach again, but he made a statement here in Detroit.
Red, always good to see you. Good luck with Michigan again this year. And Mr. Bowman, it's been great going back 40-some years, you and I, and hopefully we'll see you down the road here, and you're back in town very soon.
Maybe I'll coach you on TV,
too. Scotty, thank you so much for being Red. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Scotty Bowman, Red Berenson, Mick and I, Dave, are back with more right after this. Please don't go away.
This summer, ABC takes you where no one else can. Tuesdays, Behind the Mask.
These are the people you cry with. You don't have to, but it's very rewarding.
Behind the Curtain.
Why is this happening to me? I'm in this field because I want to save lives.
Houston Medical premieres Tuesday, 10/9 Central, and Wednesdays from ABC News.
It was either him or me.
Beyond the Prosecution.
It wasn't going to be me.
Beyond the Defense.
Take the deal.
And Inside the Jury Room.
I'll never change my vote.
State V. Houston Medical Tuesdays, State V Wednesdays, starting Tuesday, 10/9 Central on ABC.
Honey, I made my special salmon loaf for dinner.
You'll find any excuse to go Outback for our deep-fried coconut shrimp and our perfectly grilled shrimp.
Hey, guys. Fridge not working again? It's weird.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
For subpoenas or anything like that at this point, nor do I think that would be productive in getting that information or getting the task done in a timely fashion. But we may disagree about that.
Well, we do, because I noticed the tone in your voice, and I take exception to the facts. The simple fact is we keep asking and we don't get it. So far, what we haven't gotten the job done in getting the information to this body to say where we are over budget. And in regards to 11 Mile, another issue, I guess I'm concerned that the residents are going to be paid twice for this project. Now, is SMD going to do this and then not bill us, and the residents will not pay for it again? Are we guaranteed that?
Well, life isn't a series of guarantees, and I'll answer that question in writing.
With the other information that you're going to provide to the mayor? Mr. Mayor. You're right, it isn't a life. You're right, it isn't all guarantees. But we told the residents this is what we were going to do.
It's liberation. Target and Stark, together we create design for everyone.
Swoboda's shot just looked like it crawled up Duchesne's stick. He went to block it, and he got it right in the yap. This is Steve Duchesne over here when Swoboda's just about to shoot. Yep, it just rolled right up his stick, right in the mouth. Bang.
And welcome back to our program. We have a number of former Wings here on our grounds, and let's go to Dave Llewellyn on the other side of this party. He's got one of them with him right now. Dave?
I do indeed. Don, I've got John Ogrodnik with me, scored 50 goals in a Red Wing uniform, also played in the early years of Steve Yzerman as Steve Yzerman's line mate. And Johnny, as you watch the parade and the rally and this team celebrate another championship, hey, you got to feel that you played a role in the development of one Steve Yzerman.
You know, it was interesting when Steve came along. He was a young 18-year-old, and I mean, you knew he had the talent when he came. You know, he skated well. He came into a kind of a bad situation because we weren't obviously the strongest team. And I don't want to dwell on the negatives because this team just won a Stanley Cup. But we were weak in the 80s, there's no question about it. But Steve came in. You know, the coaching staff put us on the line with Ron Duguay, myself, and Yzerman. And we had a lot of fun out there, and I think he enjoyed it. But I think he got frustrated over time, you know, with the consistent losing. But, you know, I still remember, I hate to remember stuff like this, but when we had the worst season ever, I think in '86, but Yzerman broke his collarbone. and he was a big leader on the team. And here's a guy that misses most of the season, and the team kind of went downhill. But that just goes to show you, when this guy was out of the lineup with a broken collarbone, how dismal the team had played.
Well, and he still meant so much even to this year's team, playing on one leg. I mean, he's that kind of a player and leader for his team.
You know what? It was unbelievable. You know, especially I look back and I watch that Vancouver series. They're down 2-0, and going into Vancouver, and you watch Yzerman limping out there, and you see him when he falls down. You see him using that stick. It's kind of a a lever to kind of get himself back up. But he scored that big goal in Vancouver, got the team rallied, and I know that players feed off that. And I tell you what, when he missed games during the regular season, you do notice a difference in the play of this hockey club.
Enjoy the rest of the night. Thanks for coming with us tonight.
Thank you very much.
All righty. John Ogrodnik joining us from outside here at Channel 7 on our City of Champions special. Don, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. Mick and I are now joined by Barry Smith, and congratulations. What a marvelous season, and you're a big part of it, and a great parade and a rally today. I guess your innermost thoughts as you experienced all that today.
Well, today I think says it all. This parade was fantastic today. The crowd was so supportive. I mean, the energy I felt from that crowd, they were just want to be part of our team. And then we got to Hart Plaza. It was just packed. There was absolutely so many people. Wherever you looked, it was just wall-to-wall people just yelling Red Wings. It's the best thing in the world. It's a place that nobody else could ever, epitomize.
Barry, you've been known to work with the technical part of the game, the trap, the dreaded trap, and all that stuff, and the systems that you guys put into place and will play and play against. How much did all of that change from Vancouver through St. Louis to Colorado and then to Carolina through the playoffs?
Well, what happened with Vancouver is this. We rested a lot of players down the stretch prior to Vancouver, and we sort of lost our rhythm because we didn't play the same lineup. We didn't play with the same intensity, and we took some losses, didn't play real good hockey, and I knew the first round was going to be tough. So Vancouver they're the best team in hockey after Christmas, and they gave it to us. In the first 2 games, we struggled, didn't play our game, and it was a real turnaround for us for Game 3 to get that thing going. And I think the players did a better job of execution, better job of doing the small things, the little things right, and the intensity level, I think, also really got higher.
How important is it? Is it easier for guys, I guess, veteran guys like that, to adapt to the systems that you want to play against a specific team or specific players?
Well, the players pretty much tell us what kind of system they want to play, and we try to work around it. I mean, let's be honest about it. You can't say we're going to do this, and the guys can't do it. And we didn't play the trap early in the season. The players talked about it with us and said, why don't we try it? Let's take a look at it. And we put it together and said, okay, we'll put the trap in there and work at it together. And we did. And they got better at it as the season went on. At the end, we played a good trap.
Now, I would assume, I'm going to talk about your hockey school in the summertime. Here at Joe Louis Arena, you have 2 different sessions. You do not teach the trap in the school, do you?
No, we don't teach systems. Don't teach systems to kids. Let them go out and play the game of hockey.
Good
play
point.
Fundamentals. Do their fundamental skating, passing, and shooting. Don't worry about systems. But for us, the guys wanted to try something different. We put a different forecheck in this season. We got away from the left wing lock. We tried a different thing going, and they wanted to try the trap, and they did a good job for it.
Bear, let me ask you this. It is a hot topic of conversation in this town, not only about Dominik Hasek, but about you and Dave Lewis as to which one, if either, will end up succeeding Scotty. Do you believe that you are a candidate for this job and that you could get this job?
I think it's a joke to have both of us going head-to-head against the situation. Who's the head coach? To me, it doesn't mean is there a head coach or assistant coach, associate coach. You coach as a team. And we're very lucky with Scotty Bowman. I mean, he was a legendary person to come in, but he gave us all a chance to work. He gave us all a chance to have responsibility, accountability, a chance to do practices, and do what we could do to help us make this team better. And from there, we're doing like small head coaching jobs. So whether Dave or I have the job is meaningless because we have to coach as a team. The amount of work we have as a team, and we have to have the same approach. I think the approach we've had the last couple of years has been successful, so why change?
Are you suggesting that the 2 of you together should coach this team next year?
Yeah, I think we can do it. I don't think it has to be a co-coach, nomenclature if you want to have that. It can be Dave Lewis head coach, Barry Smith associate head coach, or vice versa. It doesn't bother me. But the deal is we have something which is winning. We have something which is worthwhile that I know is going to be successful. So to me, I don't want to go against it.
Okay. Hey, thank you so much. Good luck to you. We certainly hope you do end up being the coach here next year, along with
Thanks, Barry. And for all the time you spent with us here on Channel 7 throughout the playoffs and the finals, great job.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mick.
we greatly appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Barry Smith, Mick and I are back with more. Please don't go away.
Guess they're not home.
Mom?
Hit it.
Dad? You'll find any excuse to go Outback for our perfectly grilled shrimp and fresh Atlantic salmon.
Son! You're breaking up.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Don't be one of the 80% of adult Americans who suffer from sleep deprivation. Sleep better, America, with a new 2002 Simmons Beauty Rest mattress set from Art Van. Right now, save 35 to 50% on all of Art Van's 2002 Simmons collection, starting at just $59, including Simmons Beauty Rest and the Olympic Queen Beauty Rest. Plus, you do not pay for 1 full year, and Art Van pays your sales tax, all with free next-day delivery, or your mattress is free. Get a new 2002 Simmons mattress set today at Art Van.
Taste the richness of life with Classico. Stirred with flavors so rich, so robust. Feed your passion with Classico roasted chicken with Parmesan and garlic. Savory, oven roasted. Taste life to the fullest. Classico.
It's time to get outdoors. And now your Jeep dealer will get you out there with a down payment matchup on all Jeep vehicles. We'll match your $1,000 down payment. And on select Grand Cherokees, add a $1,500 cash allowance for a total of $3,500 down. Plus, get our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge. Great products, great value, great protection. It's a real matchup. See your Jeep dealer today. It all ends soon.
No other show sounds quite like this. No other show moves quite like this. Because no show in town swings like this. The original Broadway swing. For song and dance and hot romance, this is your chance to swing in the swing.
At the Fox Theater, June 18th through the 23rd. Call 248-433-1515 today.
Welcome back to our program. The familiar voice at Joe Louis Arena, a man who's been around the Red Wings for an awfully long time. You've seen it all, Mr. Lynch, haven't you?
Last minute of play in this period.
How about this one, ladies and gentlemen? Would you please remove your hats?
May we suggest you remove your hat? How true. I've been dating a few things through the years. Well, they hire one-armed guys because there's pillars in the building. They can't get 2 guys up there.
I've seen you play golf, buddy. You're pretty darn good, despite your...
Don't get enough strokes from you or Mickey in his day. No, I guess the fact that it's playoffs, Stanley Cup, thrills. As a kid coming over from Canada after World War II, to end up by doing the 49-50 as a rookie announcer. That's what Jack Adams called me, and it turned out they won the Stanley Cup the first year. So it's been 7 great Cup series that I've been privileged to be around at a microphone. And I guess in all due respect, everybody wants you to compare. Well, the only thing I can say about this year, to see the cross-section of talent put together and players that got along with each other, I swear we were back traveling on the train where players got along. These guys respected each other from overseas, and it's just amazing how when the job is to be done on the ice, for the paying customers they put out, I think, Mickey, you've been around like I have, and you played so well, that this year's team just showed that you can play over age and injuries.
I remember the train. When I started in 67 and 68, we used to take the train, and I bet you we changed clothes 50 times a day in and out of those bunks.
Mick, bring Mr. Gadsby in here behind
us. Right here. Hang
bring
on,
Bill
gang.
Gadsby in. We'll talk to him as well, bud.
There's another senior citizen now.
Yeah, but awfully darn good.
Now,
Bill Gadsby, how are you?
Now, Bill is a little bit reluctant to come in because Bud's got too many stories about Bill in the old days.
Here to come in. What stories you got now?
I haven't said a word yet because with Gordy Who and Bill Gadsby, I'm very careful what I say.
Gordy Who?
Gordy Who, yeah.
One thing about the Bear here, way back when Bill came into the organization, and I was a rookie too in those days, it seemed that you always had to introduce yourself in the dressing room to who the players were. And the first time I went up to Bill, I can almost realize it, and he said, "Now, don't you forget, I was in the Blackhawk organization, one of the original 16s, and don't forget, we've heard about you in Detroit." Now, he's telling me this. I said, "What else do you want on Bill?" He said, "Where are you going afterwards?"
Yeah, where are we going after the game?
You scored more goals than Gordy.
I scored Gordy the first year, yeah. What did I get? I got 8 goals, he got 7, but then he kind of took off on me. But I never let him forget it, believe me.
Bill, all these years, you've stayed around Detroit, and you've stayed close to the team. Your thoughts on this championship team this year?
I've never, Mickey, seen an array of talent put together like these guys got. They can talk about Montreal Canadiens and Edmonton Oilers and New York Islanders. This was something else, and if Hasek comes back, he got to come back next year. They could win it again.
All right, Billy, thank you for being here.
They're that strong.
Thanks, Bill.
You, sir.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Pleasure, Bud. Good to see you.
Of course.
There you go, buddy.
Mick and I are back after this. Hang in there.
Honey, I made my special salmon loaf for dinner.
You'll find any excuse to go out back for our deep-fried coconut shrimp and our perfectly grilled shrimp.
Hey, guys. Fridge not working again?
It's weird. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Working on the rollbacks, prices going down, down. Working on the rollbacks, whoop, another goes down. Working on the rollbacks, prices going down, down. Working on the rollbacks, whoop, another goes down.
Get the Walmart rollbacks. Working hard to save you even more.
Working,
always.
Working.
On the next Thrill Chaser.
Whoa. Man, that's huge. Hey, where'd Kelly go? She check it out?
Not exactly. Wicked Twister, Cedar Point's newest and 15th coaster. And we've got a lot more, like Millennium Force, Magnum, Raptor, and Mantis, that are pretty wicked, too. Cedar Point, feel the fun. Head to Meijer to save $10 on weekday and $5 on weekend tickets.
I was 18 years old and just a rookie when I bought my first car from Art Moran. Now with a wife, 3 daughters, and 2 Stanley Cups, I'm still buying from the people I trust. Art Moran truly cares about their customers and their community. I've made many good friends over the years here. I truly recommend Art Moran to everyone. They're really great people. They've earned my business.
City of Champions on Channel 7 has been brought to you by Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. And by Art Van Furniture. We do more for you.
Well, Dave Lewis, it's been a pretty blessed run for you. 3 cups very quickly here in Detroit.
Oh, it's been great, yeah. I don't know how quickly they've been, but it's been tremendous.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks for being here. Mick, thanks. It's been a great night.
Good stuff. It's been a pleasure for me to work with you, Don, and everybody at Channel 7. Let's do it again.
Goodbye, everybody.
Don't be one of the 80% of adult Americans who suffer from sleep deprivation. Sleep better, America, with a new 2002 Simmons Beauty Rest mattress set from Art Van. Right now, save 35 to 50% on all of Art Van's 2002 Simmons collection, starting at just $59, including Simmons Beauty Rest and the Olympic Queen Beauty Rest. Plus, you do not pay for 1 full year, and Art Van pays your sales tax, all with free next-day delivery, or your mattress is free. Get a new 2002 Simmons mattress set today at Art Van.
On the next Thrill Chaser.
Whoa. Man, that's huge. Hey, where'd Kelly go? She check it out?
Not
Not exactly. Wicked Twister, Cedar Point's newest and 15th coaster. And we've got a lot more, like Millennium Force, Magnum, Raptor, and Mantis, that are pretty wicked, too. Cedar Point, feel the fun. Head to Meyer to save $10 on weekday and $5 on weekend tickets.
It's another Meyer grand opening. And between all the special deals and special surprises, you'll discover a pretty special store. Toys that can trigger a smile. Produce, meat, and deli for the busiest mom or pickiest cook. And so much stuff for the house. You'll feel right at home. Now you know why all our grand openings are called grand. Meyer.
Hey, Jared.
Hey. What do you got there?
It's a Subway sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
What, are you off the diet? Jared's off his diet.
I'm not off the diet. It's a new low-fat taste from Subway.
Introducing great-tasting Subway Selects, like a delicious sweet onion chicken teriyaki and a red wine vinaigrette club.
Subway, eat fresh. Hey, what a game! Bases loaded. Upsize your fresh value meal. Get a cool Pepsi Bases Loaded cup. Peel off the game piece. Collect first base, second, third, and home. And you're going to the World Series. Or win other instant prizes. Bases loaded, you're up.
Watch Jerry Hodak and the W7 Weather Team on Action News.
The following film is part of the classic